Hi. Okay, so this will be just a short and sweet video for some spinal strengthening and some hip opening. So good for, if you sit a lot, good if you got lower back pain. Really just good in general to move your body to strengthen your spine, to open your hips. So if you've been sitting around watching Netflix a lot, or sitting working on your computer a lot, or even cycling, that kind of thing. So you can do this in your bed, you can do this on a yoga mat, you can do this in the grass, highly recommend doing it outside. It's nice, lay a little blanket down so that the bugs don't tickle you and bite you, but yeah, please enjoy. So we're gonna start just laying down on our belly. Just bring your hands underneath your forehead, and just one leg at a time, you'll pick it up and back behind you and put it down. Just kind of stretching out the front of your shin and the front of your thigh, and trying to engage the back of your leg. So engage your glutes and your hamstrings. And you don't have to lift it up that high, and it doesn't have to be fast or slow. Just trying to wake up that stuff. Now I want you to do the same thing just with your knees bent. So bend your knees, flex your feet. It helps me if I bring my hands out under my shoulders for this one, just because then I'm kind of using my hands to help me too. Really flex your feet, kick your heels up, get your butt to engage. Awesome. And now keep your knees wide, keep your knees bent, bring your hands back under your forehead, and just windshield wiper your shins left and right. Keep it really loose. Keep it really slow. Giving a little massage to your thighs. And then put your legs straight back behind you. Put your arms out like a cactus. And then put your leg out like a cactus, same way. So I call this cartoon pose because it's like a cartoon had just run and splat up against the wall or on the floor. Try to close your eyes. Try to take big breaths into your belly. Just really release your inner thighs. And then make that leg go straight and switch to the other side. So look the other way, bring the other leg out. Belly breaths. So try to imagine you could breathe into your hips. Okay, bring your leg back behind you. Make your legs really wide. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Push your feet into the floor and just start to lift your chest up a little bit. Keep the back of your neck long. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Pull your elbows in by your ribs. And then start to walk your hands a little bit further back. So keep squeezing the shoulder blades. Keep squeezing the elbows together. Just take a couple deep breaths. Really push the feet down, really push your hips down. Keep your neck long, keep your waist long, and pull your belly button in towards your spine. Now lower down. All right, so use your hands and knees, tuck your toes, push away from the floor, and then sit your hips back onto your heels. And if you can, keep your toes tucked while you do this. I'm just gonna tuck my shirt in. So keep your toes tucked while you do this. Stretch your arms forward, drop your head down, and now as you inhale, bring your shoulders forward over your wrist, round your spine, look for your belly button, and as you exhale, stick your butt back, arch your spine, and let your forehead drop down. So keep your arms stretching out way in front of you. Inhale, roll yourself forward, push into your feet, push into your knees, exhale, arch yourself back. So a couple of times in and out like that. Inhale, tuck your chin, breathe into your back. Exhale, stick your butt out, look forward, last second, drop your forehead down. And you can like go as slow as you want while you're doing this, you know, like listen to your body for sure, because I bet, I don't know, like I bet it would feel really good to hang out in one place or the other. If you find a spot that you're like, oh my gosh, this feels so good, stay and hang out there. Okay, point your toes. Stay and hang out here for a few breaths if you can, hips on the heels, hands under the forehead. Big hip opener, big compression for your knees, couple big belly breaths. If it ever feels like too much in this pose, you can come onto your elbows, interlace your fingers, and just drop your head that way. You can also put a pillow under your butt or a blanket under your knees or anything like that. It's also nice to have a pillow like right under your chest. All right, now we're gonna come up to hands and knees. So on your hands and knees, just cat-cow tilt your spine. So make sure you're stacked. So stack shoulders over wrists, hips on top of knees. Really push into the tops of your feet. Round your spine and arch your spine. And you can try to breathe in whichever direction you want. So try a few where you inhale when you round and exhale when you arch. Couple like that, really pushing the floor away with like every inch of your hand, your fingertips, the palms of your, like the heels of your hands, the pads of your hands. Really press down with the tops of your feet, like so much that you might be able to lift your knees up. Press the pinky edges of the feet down. Long neck. And then I want you to try switching it. So inhale when you arch your back. And exhale when you round it. Awesome. So now try to come down to your elbows and do the same thing. Interlace your fingers, and if you can, tuck your toes. Maybe lift your knees up a little bit just to give them a little wiggle if it feels a little like discomfort under your knees. Again, you can always put some underneath it, something cushion. But now do the same thing. So try a few where you inhale when you round and exhale when you arch, and then a few when you inhale when you arch and exhale when you round. So at your own pace. And give yourself a count, you know, hold yourself accountable. So maybe just say, I'm gonna do 3 of each. All right, cool. So we're gonna come back up onto the hands. And I want you to try making circles now. So if you want to flip your hands around backwards and forward just to give your wrists a little bit of a stretch, that can be a really great thing to do for your wrists. You can also keep them backwards if you want when you try to make these circles. Just keep a little bend in your elbows and make sure you spread your fingers. Make sure you spread the weight all wide throughout all your fingers. Okay, so now circles. And try 3 circles in each direction. So counterclockwise, so you're making circles with your head and with your tail. And then do circles counterclockwise. Very good. Okay, bring your hands on straight. Bring your left leg back behind you. And just shift the weight forward and back so you can stretch out your Achilles, stretch out your calf. Okay, now bring your right foot back behind you, inner edge of your left foot on the floor, and lift your left arm up so it's side plank. And look up for that left hand. Really try to push your right foot on the floor behind you. And then if you want, try a couple of times to go in and out. So roll your chest open, nice big breath, and close it off. And then we'll switch to the other side. So left hand down, left foot behind you, inner edge of the right foot on the floor. Really push into that left foot, lift up. Big breaths are very important. Use your breath for sure. Full inhales, full exhales. Just using your breath to like help give you some insight into what you're feeling in your body. So like if you're having a hard time breathing, you know you should back off a little bit. If you're feeling really good with your breath, where can you send your breath that you're feeling a little bit of a challenge or a struggle? All right, come back to hands and knees, and just one more thing here. So take your right arm forward out in front of you, and then take it out to the side. And then put your right hand down and do your left hand forward out in front of you, and out to the side. And the whole time you're doing this, I want you to do it 2 more times. The whole time you're doing it, really try to keep your belly in and your back flat. Keep pressing into your feet, especially the pinky edges of your feet, like push down. All right, now we're gonna do the same thing with the legs. So right leg up and back, bend your knee, bring it out to the side, and then put it back down. Left leg up and back, bend your knee out to the side, put it back down. Leg back, out to the side, and down. Leg back, out to the side, and down. One more time each leg. Leg back, out to the side, and down. Leg back, out to the side, and down. Okay, you guessed it. Maybe you didn't guess it, but whatever. We're gonna try both arms and legs at the same time. So opposite arm, opposite leg, out to the side and down. Opposite arm, opposite leg, out to the side and down. And if you're like, F you, Mara, I don't wanna do it, then just do your arm, like just your arm or just your leg. That's okay, but if you can, try it 2 more times. Straight back, out to the side and down. Straight back, out to the side, and down. Last one. Okay, cool. Good. So 1 down dog. So walk your hands a little bit forward, lift your hips up and back. So down dog is an upside down V shape. Pedal your knees. So bend one knee, bend the other knee, straighten the other leg while you do it, just to get into your hamstrings a little bit, into your Achilles. Keep lifting your butt up as much as you can. Relax your head, relax your neck. Keep your elbows soft. Take one of your feet, doesn't matter to me which one you start with, and slide it forward, and you can always pick it up and bring it forward too. Once you've got it there, bring your back knee down. So if you need a little cushion under your back knee like me, what I normally do is flip over the outer edge of my yoga mat. But if you're in your bed, then you got a cushion. If you're on a blanket or a carpet, then you got a cushion. You can keep your hands down if that feels like plenty, or if you want to try, put your hands interlaced on top of this front thigh, and then just lift and lower your hips a little bit to try to get into your hip flexors a little bit more. So you can stick your butt out and let your hips drop down. You can drop your butt underneath you and lift your hips up, lift your belly up, but just trying to get into the front of your thigh. Make sure you're taking big breaths while you're doing it, for sure, because your oxygen is going to help those muscles release. Really pushing your feet down, both of your feet. And then let's just switch legs into a down dog. So put your hands down, slide that foot back, pedal your knees again, move your hips around, shake your head, keep your neck nice and long, your waist long. Really push equal weight into your hands and feet, and your hands and feet can be as wide as you need for a down dog. The wider, probably the more stable you're gonna feel. I mean, obviously, within reason. Other leg comes through, put your back knee down. Yeah, breathe any way that you want, for sure. I like to use sound when I breathe. When I breathe with sound, it helps me to relax more. Like, it's like, you know, I feel like a comfy baby in my mom's belly. It's just like, oh God, I get to relax now. Some people don't like to make sound though, so if you don't like to make sound, you don't like to make sound. I obviously really like to make sounds. Okay, so now we're gonna go back to one more down dog. And this time we're gonna do a half pigeon. So you're gonna bring your knee towards your wrist. So I'm starting with my left leg, so my left knee goes towards my left wrist. You can slide your opposite leg back behind you. You can also, instead of doing a half pigeon, the same kind of stretch you can do on your back in a figure 4. And so that's what I'll teach, and I'll still show you on the other side, the half pigeon. But just so you have an option, same stretch. Well, not the exact same stretch, but very similar stretch. So you bring, so like my left ankle is on my right thigh, and then you can keep your right foot on the floor and just push your left thigh away from you with your left hand. Breathe there. Or you can interlace your fingers around your right thigh and pull your knee in towards you, but then use your left elbow to push your left thigh away from you just to get a little deeper into that. All right, so let's switch legs. So if you're in the half pigeon, it'll be that right knee towards the right wrist, yeah? And your left leg way back behind you, and you can stay lifted, or you can go down on your elbows, up to you. Or you do the figure 4, and you do the figure 4. You could do both of them. Again, just use your breath, you know? That's it, really. Like, I feel like that's yoga. Like, yoga means, the root word came from yoke, right? Like, to yoke something together, to connect something. So you're connecting with your breath. You're connecting your breath to your movement. You're connecting your body, your breath, and your spirit. You know, whatever you want to connect, that's what your yoga is. That's why I think there's so many right ways to do yoga. All right, so now we're going to twist. So come onto your back, whether you are in half pigeon or not. Just rotate the wrists and ankles a little bit just to make sure the hands and feet feel a little bit of a tension. We love you, hands and feet. And then you'll hug your right knee into your chest and make your left leg go straight, and really hug the right knee up and in before you cross it over to the side. So you'll cross your right knee to the left side of the room. Scoot your shoulders out so that both of your shoulders get to drop on the floor. So use your head, push down into the floor, and move your shoulders so that they're both as flat as they can go. And then with your knee going to the left, your arm goes to the right, and you look over to the right and take a few deep breaths. And just to get back to what I was talking about before, like, your breath is so important, and when you can connect with it and teach your body that it's okay to stretch, and it's okay to calm down, and it's okay to do exercises or whatever it is that you're connecting your breath with, that's when your mind starts to like shift as well. So if you have this connection with exercise where you're like breathing like really stressful, like way up into your chest, like of course you're not going to want to do it because your stress response is being engaged. So breathe into your belly and engage your calm response, you know? Teach your body it's okay to relax. Switch sides. So hug that knee back in the center. Release to the ground. Bring the other leg in. And cross it over. Remember, push into your head so you can scoot your shoulders. Big breaths. Maybe you close your eyes. Okay, bring your knee back into center. And now let's butterfly. So try to grab the soles of your feet, bring them together, pull your feet towards your face. One big breath. And then a happy baby. So point your feet towards the ceiling, pull your tail towards the floor, pull your knees towards your armpits, stick out your tongue and breathe. Okay, so the last one, bring your arms out like a cactus. Bring your feet out as wide as your mat. So if you don't have a mat underneath you, make sure your feet are wider than your hips and just windshield wiper, left to right. One side and the other side. And you could do it quick or you could do it slow. I prefer going slow because I can really get into my hip flexor and my thigh. And then if you want to go a little deeper with it, when both of your knees are over to the left, put your left ankle on top of your right thigh, just to push it down a little more. Ooh, that feels like way too much for me. But if it feels good for you, you should do it. And then take your ankle off your thigh before you do it on the other side. Remember, teach your body how to calm down with your breath. Really use those full inhales and exhales into your belly to help you calm down. So now we'll rest here for a sec. So put your knees together, your feet apart. Put your hands on your belly. And actually, if you can, interlace your fingers. So this mudra is represents unshakable trust. So it's like, just like, you got yourself, you know? Trust in yourself, trust in the universe, trust in this process. So go ahead and let your hands rest right on your solar plexus. Try to walk your shoulder blades underneath you. Let your head be relaxed. Let your knees fall in towards each other. Really let your butt be relaxed, your feet. Take some big breaths into your belly. And we'll end with a little meditation. So with your eyes closed, I just want you to picture an image of yourself. And that image can be you at any time in your life, just as long as it's clear. And I just want you to think, may you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be whole. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be whole. One more big breath. Exhale all the air out with a shh. Try to hold it empty. Big inhale. Try to hold it full at the top. And sigh. Roll to one side so that you come to a fetal position before you get up. And then use your arm to push yourself up. Hey, good job. I mean, I don't know if you did a good job, but I bet you probably did. You could have just sat and watched me and drank your coffee, and that's cool too, no judgment. Please subscribe to the channel. Please tell your friends about it. I'm just trying to make this accessible, you know? Like, I don't... I think that there's a lot of right ways to do yoga, like I said, and there's a lot of yoga out there, and, you know, my goal is to try to get people to do yoga who wouldn't normally do yoga. Like my dad. That's why this is called Yoga for Your Dad, because like I made this for my dad and now he does yoga and it's really helping him a lot because he can do these short little things. So yeah, I hope you like it. Please leave feedback. Please leave comments or questions or anything that you have. Thank you so much. I hope you have a really great day.